What's going on, everybody? I hope you're having a good week as always and having a good weekend. I'm here to just talk about the Trump campaign rally speech. I guess it's not a campaign rally. It's just a regular rally now that he's not campaigning. But he did a speech yesterday in Pennsylvania, and the media is freaking out pretty much like they always do. You know, it doesn't really matter what happens. They'll freak out, say stuff, whatnot. But I wanted to kind of share my thoughts on what he said. He also released his new slogan for the 2020 campaign, which is interesting. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on, so we could chat on it. I was kind of relaxing this weekend, trying to stay low-key, but, you know, you can't stay that low-key in this world. They're always hitting you. You can't even log into your phone. Apple's got, you know, the biased news hitting you. You got the Twitter news, the Facebook news. You go out, everybody's talking about stuff. They're like, the tax cuts are going to destroy everything. You're like, but let's wait about 30, 40 more seconds for people to get in. As always, thank you guys for joining. You can follow me on Instagram at DreamRare. You can follow me on Twitter at Legendary Energy. And I actually figured out how to pin a post. So now I have a pinned post at the top. That's pretty cool. We'll see if that helps or hurts or whatever. So thank you guys for joining. We'll wait 30 more seconds, and then we'll start talking about it. I just want to get a little sip of the coffee and real quick, you know, heat up the insides. So we'll start. The speech was in Pennsylvania. He's kind of, I guess, campaigning for some guy that will follow the, you know, the Trump agenda. So he was doing that. And I watched the whole speech actually because, you know, I like to actually hear Trump speak. I know that's kind of a crazy revolutionary thing in this world. Like, most people, instead of just listening to him speak, they listen to what other people have to say about him. And that's one of the biggest tricks of the media, is they don't want you to know somebody. Similar, to be honest, it's very similar to how they don't want Donald Trump to talk to Kim Jong-un, which I'm going to make a really big video. It's going to be out Monday morning. It's going to be like a normal, you know, to the point video, not one of these. But they don't want Trump to talk to Kim Jong-un. You know, they want Trump to think Kim Jong-un is who they tell them, just like they think, you know, they don't want people to listen to Trump. They want everybody to, you know, take their word for it. So I think that's a huge trap, especially when I read that. I'm like, these people are out of their minds. You know, there's a lot of psychopaths in the media where I'm like, these people need to take a week, go on vacation, you know, go for a swim, and really deeply evaluate themselves before they spread this message to the entire world. But, you know, that's what the media does. Anyway, I listened to the whole speech, and I have to say it was definitely one of his more crazy speeches. He was unfiltered, unscripted, pretty much making fun of a lot of people. He called Chuck Todd a sleepy-eyed son of a bitch. He's a funny guy, man. I thought it was funny. You know, he called out a New York Times writer. He said CNN's the fakest news, and then he's like, wait, no, NBC's the fakest news, MSNBC's the fakest news. And here's the funny part about that. People in this live stream, if you're not new, you already know what the deal is, I'm sure. But the media paints this story. They try to say that Trump doesn't like the news because the news doesn't like Trump. And then they also say Trump, you know, he thinks politicians are bad because they don't agree with him. That's the funniest thing to me, because I always, you know me, I always say on my live streams, I don't care if people like President Trump or not. I understand why people wouldn't like him. He's definitely a little bit obnoxious. He's a little bit rude and arrogant. But the biggest hoax on the American people, besides the Russia collusion and all of the other hoaxes that they put on people every day, is the fact that the media is good because Trump is bad, and Trump says the media is bad, so the media is good because Trump's a bad guy and he only dislikes. The media has been fake for a long, long time. And, you know, outside of Trump's a little bit ridiculous antics, I mean, everything that he says is spot on about the media. CNN is ridiculously fake. They're not fake because Trump said they're fake. They're not good because Trump said they're fake. They're fake because they're fake. And this is, you know, for some reason, everybody thinks politics is a sports game. Democrats, Republicans, blah, blah, blah. I don't like Donald Trump. I don't like that person. I don't like this person. I don't know. The truth is the truth no matter who says it. He says a lot of truth, and especially when it comes to the media, they're totally fake. CNN's ridiculously fake. MSNBC is absolutely, you know, potentially worse than CNN. They are almost as fake. And does Chuck Todd have sleepy eyes? I mean, that's up to the person. To me, that's not important. But I just think it's so funny how the media convinces some people. They're like, you don't like Trump? And they're like, yeah, I don't like Trump. They're like, okay, well, we're real because you don't like Trump. No. You could not like Trump. You could think he's arrogant or maybe not a good president. You could think that. But if you follow the media, you're getting played. The media is the wolves in sheep's clothing. Chuck Todd is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Rachel Maddow is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Ellen, Stephen Colbert, all of these people, very funny people, very cool people, very likable people, celebrities, news hosts. Don Lemon, Don Lemon's a really cool young guy. He's, got a face that he looks very young, which is attractive to the young audience. But these people are wolves in sheep's clothing, and it doesn't take Donald Trump to say that. That's just what it is. So he mentioned that. He also, went at people like Maxine Waters. He said, she's low IQ, whatever, very dumb. Or like, to me, I think it is absolutely ridiculous. Like the stuff that he says, like saying that she's dumb and has a low IQ. Is that mean? I think so. Is that politically correct? Absolutely not. But here's what other people don't understand as well. One, Maxine Waters was voted, I believe, the most corrupt politician multiple times. She really wasn't popular at all until Trump. It's like Trump made people who hate Trump famous. He's like, yo, I hate Trump. And people are like, oh, my God, you're my hero now, Maxine. And it's like, I wouldn't say these things. Personally, I would never get up there and be as rude. I wouldn't even say rude, but, he's definitely not politically correct. And it's definitely not nice. Like, and in that entire speech, it was off the wall. Like, he just doesn't care. That kind of, as somebody who realizes that he's actually better than the media portrays, I was kind of hyped off that whole rally because I was like, wow, this guy's really confident. Like, he must have all his chips in line because Trump was up there just not caring. He's like, you're sleepy eyed son of a bitch. You have a low IQ. We're winning. I thought it was hilarious. Personally, I loved it. It was really entertaining to me. I can see why the media is upset. I can see why the Democrats are upset. But I just try to be like the middle person. Like, I'm not Donald Trump. I have no interest invested in, Trump or Republicans. My interests are invested in the United States and world peace and stuff like that. And I see that Trump is a total win for the United States. He's a total win for world peace. I mean, if the fake news media relaxes, he'll probably have world peace with Kim Jong-un in a few weeks. Just like I knew that they would, because Kim Jong-un actually loves America. He probably just doesn't want to get killed like Gaddafi, and, they're trying to kill Bashar al-Assad, and the U.S. runs over to give me your weapons, and then they kill somebody. So it's not that strange to Kim Jong-un. It's like, wow, the guy doesn't want to get killed? Who would have thought? I thought, people who hate Trump, they think that everybody in the world believes what they believe. Like, if you watch MSNBC or you watch CNN or you watch ABC or NBC, or all of these liberal news sources, or as I call them, wolf in sheep's clothing news sources, because they're not liberal. They're actually now the military-industrial complex news stations. They're more warmongers than the Republicans are, which is crazy because the Republicans were always the military party. And, in the 70s and 60s, it was liberal hippies who were like, peace, peace, peace. And now it's actually the Republicans and the Trump supporters who are like, peace, peace, peace. And it's the liberals who've been following the wolves in sheep's clothing, are like, war with Russia. Let's start a war with Russia. Let's blame them for the election that Hillary Clinton and Google and Facebook rigged. So there's like this whole, deception that's just it's beyond irony that you have the Republicans and the Trump supporters. They don't want war. The people who watch, the liberal news stations, they do want war. Stephen Colbert wants war. Ellen wants war. Morgan Freeman's talking about war with Russia. It's like, it's such a weird flip. So that's all going on. Someone said, what's the campaign slogan? The new campaign slogan is, it's Keep America Great. So for the 2020 election, I'm so excited because Trump's an old guy. You have to understand, Trump, Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, those were the three oldest candidates ever. So whoever won was going to be the oldest candidate. Hillary was very sick. She was coughing and passing out all over the place. Luckily, Donald Trump's got a lot of energy for a 70-year-old. The man like sleeps 3 hours, 4 hours a day, wakes up and he's on Twitter screaming. I mean, you can say a lot about Trump, but you can't say he's low energy. He's a very high energy guy. The man is healthier than I can't believe he's that healthy. But he could eat like 10 hamburgers, drink 16 Diet Cokes, and the guy does not stop. But the campaign slogan is "Keep America Great." So, he was like, I can't make America great again, because if I made it great by the time it's 2020, it's "Keep America Great." Yeah, MAGA, M-A-G-A, Keep America Great. The exciting thing about me to Keep America Great is, like, it's something that I don't think that they can, like, twist it as bad as they did Make America Great Again. When he came out with Make America Great Again, it was an easy thing to put him on the racist card for. Like, I don't think he cares, but that's also the best part. Like, he's just like a steamroller. Like, he's like, I'm doing what I want to do. I don't care what you guys think. That's the best part about him. But Make America Great Again, it's easy to say that's racist, because it's like, when was America great? I'm not saying it wasn't, but traditionally, we always try to get better and better and better and better and better. I don't know too many people who look to the 1960s and 50s and be like, oh man, that's when America was at its peak. If you feel that way, it's up to you. I wasn't alive then, so I have no idea. Based on the history books and the media, I don't really believe much of what they tell me about it anyway, based on their track record. But, Make America Great Again, they did a good job of branding that racist right from the jump, because it's like, Make America Great Again? Oh, he wants to make it like the KKK rallies. Someone said, are you a Fox News contributor? I just saw that. No, I would love to be a contributor on CNN, Fox News, MSNBC. Whoever would let me speak and speak the truth and speak my mind, I would love to be a contributor, as long as they didn't doctor what I said. So, no, I'm not a Fox News contributor, but I would be willing to contribute to any news station if they allowed me to speak my mind. But Keep America Great, that's the new slogan. It's cool because now, hopefully by that time too, it'll be more socially acceptable. Now if you have a Make America Great Again hat, you walk out, someone punches you, or, if you live in a liberal city, everybody thinks you're racist, even though, you want to stop the wars. You're like, I like Trump because I don't want, them to kill the leader of Syria like they did Libya, and, I don't want them to start a World War III with Russia. And they're like, what are you, racist? And it makes no sense. But before I move on, I want to say, Keep America Great. If anybody's interested in domain names and internet websites, I actually own keepamericagreatshirts.com. So Make America Great Again hats and shirts sold a lot. Keepamericagreatshirts.com. It's a domain name I have. You can, email me at my website, legendary.vision, if you're interested in purchasing that. If not, I might go full rogue and run a whole operation off that. But keepamericagreatshirts.com. I got it. I scooped it up last night. I was like, that's a good domain to have. Side note though, on the rally that he had yesterday, he was unfiltered. He's talking about all this stuff. You look at CNN and they're saying, oh my goodness, this is so horrible and terrible. And I always try to explain what I'm saying to people who don't understand, because I could talk all day to people who I agree with and see eye to eye with, but I'm really not who people want to say I am. I believe in real liberal values. I wish that Rachel Maddow wasn't a shill for the military-industrial complex. I wish that CNN Don Lemon wasn't a fraud. I wish that Stephen Colbert wasn't lying. I wish that, all of my favorite celebrities weren't complete frauds. But that's just the way it is. Donald Trump with his speech, was it crazy considering like how other people talk? Absolutely. It was definitely, he's a wild boy and he was saying wild things just off the cuff, like, I don't care. But here's what people need to understand. The term political correctness, if you look up what the definition of political correctness means. It's basically a polite way to lie to somebody. That's the whole word. So I'm the type of person, I like the blunt truth. I like people who keep it real with me. I don't like to be showered with lies. So like Donald Trump's not a big deal to me because he's not saying anything that crazy if you're not a complete mind-controlled moron who believes fake news and thinks the world is rainbows and cookies and thinks that, George Bush and Barack Obama were these really great, nice guys who just like, he's a painter and the guy plays basketball, which is true. No disrespect to them. But, I mean, if you have any sort of common sense or any sort of scope of what has happened in history, the present, and what's going on in the world, geopolitics-wise, I mean, it's just outlandish to me to think that this is the craziest thing. Anyway, political correctness, it means to lie to you. You can look up the term of politician. Google politician. Look at the first two definitions of what politician means. They have the nice definition, and then the second definition of politician says a manipulative person who usually does things at a company or organization for personal gain. So the word politician literally means a manipulative fake person who manipulates through a company, a corporation, or a country for their personal gain, for other interests. So that's what a politician is. That's what political correctness is. Do I personally think it's better to be nice to people and kind to people as opposed to being, straight rude? Totally. But do I want somebody who starts 7 wars and just lies to my face all the time and talks pretty but, is trying to turn the United States into a communist regime? Or do I like the guy who's a little bit mean sometimes, but everything he's saying is spot on accurate? Nothing about it's racist, sexist, or xenophobic. It's just honest, but we've been bred in this culture of fakeness. I mean, I've always been a very honest, real person, and it's been rarer than it should be. I've always been questioning things. I always question, and the teachers in school would be like, why are you asking so many questions? Just believe these words on the paper that were written by some guy 60 years ago, who wrote all the history books and profited like hundreds of millions of dollars. So I'm like, this is no surprise to me. I get a lot of people are upset, but you just have to understand, in my personal opinion, and you can, not feel this way. I don't really care. But you have to understand what's going on in the world to really have a scope of like how bad President Trump is and what's really going on. The reason that CNN and MSNBC and ABC and Twitter and Facebook, the reason they talk about Stormy Daniels all the time and what Melania Trump was wearing and this is that, is because most, and I'm not knocking on people's intelligence, but most people with common sense and a scope of what's going on in the world and how important Trump's presidency is and these wars and all these, the funding of terrorists and the funding of rebels and, all of these crazy, crazy things that have been going on. When you think about all of that stuff, there's not a lot of people that support Trump that want to hear a bunch of drama and gossip, but, a lot of the people that hate him, they have no scope of the world. They've been lied to for so long. They've been swallowing the political correctness, truth of like, whoa, like George Bush is he's better than Trump because he lied to you in a nice way. And Barack Obama's better than Trump because he lied to you in a nice way and the media protected him. And Hillary Clinton's just a grandma with lots of experience. Like, I literally run up to people and I'm like, yeah, what do you think? And I don't care. I don't judge. But like, people are like, she's just a grandma. I think she's a nice grandma. It's like, that's why, that crowd, they give him Stormy Daniels and Trump is so mean and Trump is so mean and Stormy Daniels, because that crowd is the I want to watch reality TV show. I like to be lied to. I like to worry about nonsensical things that don't matter, like fashion and, drama and gossip. And I like to, it's the whole Kardashian. So that's why CNN has turned into MTV. Like, MTV used to do music, and then they sold out, and they're like, well, what if we had reality shows on and we just abandoned music? And they're like, well, it makes more money for now because people are really dumb. So they're like, okay, we'll do that. Same with CNN. They abandoned the truth. I don't think they ever had the truth, but they abandoned politics. They abandoned even like geopolitical stuff. They abandoned, national security. They abandoned all of these things. They talk about Stormy Daniels 70% of the time because, one, it gets more ratings. It's like the Kardashian style. That's how dumb people are. They like the lie. They like the drama more than they like the truth. They like to well, wonder what happened. I'll watch this for 10 months and nothing will ever happen. And also the geopolitics and the national security and all of these stuff, domestic policy, it doesn't go in CNN's favor right now because Trump is crushing it and he's doing a lot of things that are actually very, very beneficial. When it comes to healthcare, he got rid of the individual mandate, which is like, financial enslavement. It's like, we're going to force you to pay for insurance that you can't use. Literally, I hate the independent mandate. That's one of my favorite things that he did, and it frustrates me that the media doesn't even mention it. Do I care that people don't agree with me about it? No, they don't have to agree with me, but the media says, healthcare is so bad. Trump is terrible. He hates poor people and he wants to kill everybody. Like, I'm not making that up. That's literally the message that they portray. That's why people are so mad. But what Trump did with the new tax bill for Obamacare is he got rid of the individual mandate, which means next year in 2019, if you don't want health insurance, you don't have to buy health insurance. I mean, they literally forced you, enslaved you, and financially enslaved you. I buy health insurance. I pay $250 a month. Literally $250, That's a couple $1,000s a year. When I go to the doctor's office, I get no savings. I pay for medicine. I say, how much did I pay? They said, oh, full price. How much is the copay? Oh, $75 plus $150 after. And then I'm like, wait, but how much would I pay normally? So $100. So I'm paying more money. I'm paying every single month, and I'm forced to pay. If I don't pay for health insurance, they'll fine me a couple $1,000s at the end of the year. That's financial enslavement. That's some BS. Trump got rid of that because he knows that's BS. And I don't care if people disagree. I'm sure some people have great experiences with socialized health care, but the fact that the media won't even mention that, they don't care about you. I'm sorry. They don't care about people. They don't care about the LGBT community. They don't care about, the women's community. They are wolves in sheep's clothing. They just know that the women's community and the LGBT community are easy to manipulate because they're very emotional people. Women and a lot of men. You have a lot of, I'm not discriminating or anything, but like women traditionally are the caretakers. They give the guys or, this and that, and everybody play your role. I don't care what you do. I'm just saying, there's certain communities that are easy to manipulate because they're very emotional. That's why the news has a field day with you guys. Stormy Daniels, and Trump said mean words, and Trump said mean words. I mean, what could be meaner than going to someone's country and killing the leader and then, letting their people fall into enslavement? To me, I don't know. It's a no-brainer. I'm like, a mean word that makes me feel bad sometimes. It might have been mean, but pretty much is true, versus like, infiltrating 50 different countries, killing multiple leaders, funding radical rebels who, destroy entire towns, or, funding both sides of the war, giving Palestine $300 million on Obama's last day of presidency, giving Israel $20 billion in weapons, giving the Saudis billions of dollars in weapons. What's worse, that or, the president had sex with somebody 10 years ago? I'm going to have to go with the millions of children and women that were killed in the Middle East for 500, Alex. So that's why I just don't understand why other people don't get it yet. I get why people wouldn't like Trump. I understand, that people would think that his rally was mean and rude, because it was pretty aggressive, especially for a United States president. It was very untraditional, but that's what we want. I didn't even vote for President Trump, but I'm enjoying it. I don't like traditional. Traditional wasn't working. Traditional was fake, and that's, I think, where a lot of people are missing it. I've never been fake. I've always wanted the truth. I don't want the fake lies, but apparently that's what the people who read CNN and MSNBC and, they just want the fake lies. They want to rewrite the script of what's happening in the world. There's all sorts of terrible, terrible things going on, far, far worse than what anybody could imagine. Stuff that makes the movies that people watch. I don't even watch movies because the U.S. is the best reality show in the world. But people watch all these movies, and then they think that the U.S. is a script written by CNN and MSNBC. So it's just kind of confusing. It's like, I get why you wouldn't like him, but you have to understand the playing field, or you're going to keep getting played. Because the big scoop, the big story is not who Trump slept with 10 years ago. The big story is not, he said a mean word. The big story is, Russia is developing missiles that can go past defense systems. And you have the media who's trying to start a war with Russia because they tried to rig the election and they lost. And, they went all in. They had billions of dollars, and every news network and every celebrity was on board. They failed. They lost. They rigged the election. They threw a fit. Now they're trying to blame Russia to do a 2-in-1 combo. They've always wanted to start a war with Russia, and they also want to delegitimize the presidency. Excuse me. So this is a 2-in-1 for them. But what people don't understand, while they're watching the Stormy Daniels show, there's a possibility that we could start World War III. So it's like, like Flavor of Love, Flava Flav drama, or World War III? What's important? What are we going to prioritize here? Mean words that are pretty much honest. Like, I would much rather a president say, Chuck Todd is a sleepy-eyed son of a bitch, than a president be like, the news is telling you the truth because they're so nice to you, and we love the LGBT community, and we love the Latinos, and we love the black community, until the illegals come around, and then we don't love Latinos and black people at all. We love the illegals, and we love ISIS fighters, because like it's like, what? This all escalated so quickly. Like I thought you cared about the Latino and black community. Now it's the illegals. Now it's ISIS rebels. They're like, no, they're people too. We'll bring them to Canada. We'll teach them poetry, and if you say otherwise, you're a bad racist person. It's like, what? I mean, these are the options that they're giving me. I didn't choose the two-tiered system, the Democrats and the Republicans, but Trump is outside of both. Trump is revolutionizing the game. He's smashing political correctness. He's smashing the status quo, and he's so confident and so aggressive. I'm just like, what tricks does he have up his sleeve? This guy is an absolute madman. I mean, he's a total madman, but on a global scale of what's going on, it's good. It's not a bad thing. I mean, it's breaking the illusion that people need to break. People go and watch movies that lie to you. They're scripted movies. People watch scripted news and scripted television and sold out, news corporations that have ridiculously massive interests. Why do you think Jeff Bezos, the richest guy in the world, bought the Washington Post? Because it's important to have media sources. The media controls the mind of the masses. If I'm 3 mega corporations who own, 5,000 television stations, and you punch me in the face, it doesn't matter that you punched me in the face because I own the media. Is your story going to get out there? No, my story's going to get out there because I own the media. So then I broadcast, you punched me in the face. You don't have to punch me in the face, but your word means nothing because I own the television. People tune into the television and they think it's the truth just because they saw it, or the Chuck Todd told them, or Jake Tapper told them. But you start actually diving deep into like what they're saying, what other people are saying, what the truth is, and you're like, wow, almost nothing they say makes sense. They're just master manipulators who know how to politically correct, just weave a tight circle through the BS. So the script that people are reading from Apple and Google and Facebook and Twitter and CNN and MSNBC and ABC and NBC and Democratic politicians and Republicans like McCain and Mitt Romney, that script is a script. It's not the reality that's happening on Earth. It's a dumbed down script. You think that the things Trump is saying is the worst thing in the world? Oh, Trump said people are evil in Washington because people in Washington don't agree with him. Are you serious? You think there's no such thing as an evil person in Washington? You really think it was sunshines and rainbows in Washington and it was just the greatest people who never offended anybody, and then Trump came in and Trump's like, wow, there's some evil people here. And then everyone's like, CNN writes, can you believe that Trump said that people in Washington could be evil? He only thinks that because they don't like him. Does anyone really believe that? I'm just curious. I don't even know. Like I said, look out tomorrow at about 6 a.m. I'm going to drop a new video. I'm talking about Trump. I'm talking about North Korea. I'm explaining what's going on because Trump's about to meet with North Korea. I don't want to ruin what I'm about to say because that's going to be a big, viral video that has like to the point. I'm going to try to be as nice as possible, but I'm not going to lie. I'm a little bit upset. I'm a little bit frustrated because it's getting realer and realer and realer and realer. And it's like, how far do these media psychopaths want to go? They really want to start a war with Russia, who has crazy weapons. They want to do all this weird stuff. It's like, well, Russia had people on Facebook running millions of dollars worth of ads. It's like, well, Qatar owns Al Jazeera, who makes billions of dollars and has billions of dollars of influence. And China owns half of Hollywood, and they have billions of dollars, if not trillions of dollars in influence. And Saudi Arabia has billions upon trillions of dollars invested in the United States media and tech companies. So it's like, what part of, 7 Russian trolls on Facebook justifies you starting a war? It's because they don't want America to have a non-puppet president. These are people who have been in control for a long, long time. The reason the United States founded itself was so that they didn't have kings or dictators. So you look at the Constitution and all of these things, while I'm not saying they're perfect, they were set in place to have a new president every 4 years. You vote on them every 8 years. They can only last 8 years. There's been an entity in the United States. It's not a conspiracy. It's a fact that is often overlooked because the people who control the media don't want to talk about it, and they act it, oh my goodness, Trump and Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr. said deep state. How crazy is that? They said deep state. It's like, well, what do you call, organizations that influence massive power around the world and massive power in the United States that are unelected, who oftentimes exert power over the United States government? I mean, what do you call it? You could call it deep state. You could call it potato. I mean, words are just words, but there's there's something going on where for a long time they didn't really want someone like President Trump to win. So President Trump is a wrecking ball, and he's very self-aware. He's definitely very confident, extremely confident. He's absolutely cocky. He's an absolute madman. He's an absolute ridiculous force, but this is what people wanted. This is what people voted for. I didn't vote for him, but in the 2020 election, am I going to vote for him? Absolutely, unless they have somebody else that's like really good. Hopefully they have a good candidate where it's debatable, but this is what people wanted. They don't want the status quo. They don't want the easy lie. The fake lie is leading to destruction. Destruction in Europe, destruction in the Middle East, destruction in the United States, destruction in Canada. That's what the fake lie does. The truth is how to set free. It's like if you have 10,000 garbage bags sitting in your kitchen, 10,000 garbage bags, and you have a bunch of politicians saying, oh, there's nothing there, it's perfect, and we love the LGBT community, and we love the Latinos more than Republicans love Latinos. And then you have a guy who's like screaming and cursing and saying all these things, but he's like, we got to take out the trash, we got to take out the trash. And they're like, whoa, he used a mean word. How bad is that? We told people specifically that the United States was flavor of love Kardashian gossip. So how dare them find out that there's actually things going on? I mean, who believes that stuff? It's like I'm not saying that there could be a better version of, or like a different version of Trump that wasn't so blunt, or I don't know, like I get it, but you gotta get that person. Like I don't see them on the Democrat side, and I don't see them on the Republican side. So I'm not a hater, I'm an appreciator, and there's just no one better than Donald Trump right now. There's just not. I don't know. I know this is probably offensive. I've seen a few comments, like always, of people that are upset. Like I understand that you might not like him, but you got to get someone better than him. If you don't like Michael Jordan, you don't beat him in basketball by making fun of him and then putting, a 5'2" preschooler next to him. And that's what other politicians, they're preschoolers next to Donald Trump. He's just a lot better. He's a lot realer, and he doesn't even care about anything. He's like cursing and yelling and saying, oh, I could go up here. He's like, people say I don't speak well. People say I don't speak well. Do I speak well? Do you guys think I speak well? He's like, he's not even trying that hard. He's not trying to be fake. He's not trying to pander to people. He's a doer. There's a lot of talkers. See, that's why it doesn't bother me. I know a lot of people like the comfortable lie. A lot of people like the politically correct thing that feels good. That's a total lie. But in my findings, those type of people are the fakest. When it comes to business, I like to get to the point. I don't want to hear somebody talk for an hour. I'll be in a business meeting. People will be talking, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, okay, an hour into the business meeting, there's no business even discussed. I'm not saying I don't like to talk to people and enjoy myself, but it's like, what's the point? Let's get to the point. That's why I do the short little videos for people. These are the ones for people who truly enjoy it and want to sit and talk for 30, 40 minutes. But it's like, I don't want to hear the 2 hours of just blabbering. What's the point? What are we going to do? How are we going to do it? Is it going to work out or not? Meeting over. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to the point. So a lot of people like the comfortable lie. A lot of people like they like people who are nice to them but then go start wars, and are nice to them but really try to just raise taxes and steal money for them and lose trillions of dollars. I mean, just Google like how many trillions of dollars that the Federal Reserve has lost. Google how many trillions of dollars that the Pentagon has lost. You can literally find, and this, so people sometimes they say, you're a conspiracy theorist. I have people from NASA and the Department of Defense like getting mad at me on my page now because I made a NASA video. I made a video of NASA scientists. I didn't even say it because I don't know anything about space. I'm not a space cadet. But there's NASA scientists saying they lost the data technology, and I have NASA engineers yelling at me like, how dare you start a conspiracy theory? I didn't start that conspiracy theory. Don Petit from NASA did. I didn't say that. NASA did. Anyway, This is not a conspiracy theory. Washington Post and CNN, all of these major news corporations, they've published the Pentagon under Bush and under Obama lost trillions of dollars. Trillions. Oh, well, Trump's wall is going to cost $10 billion. They've lost trillions of dollars, and they've admitted it to you. They just tell you on New Year's Day or on Christmas so you don't pay attention. That's, that's when they pass it. But it's like, what's a bigger deal? Words that might hurt your feelings or trillions of dollars lost? Trillions. I could change the entire, everybody could get $10,000 in the United States added to their bank, but the U.S. government lost it. They're not going to do that anymore because now they're scrutinizing Trump. If he even lost a penny, it would be on CNN the next day. He stole a penny from the Federal Reserve. Anyway, I'm just letting everybody know. I thought it was very, very entertaining. I thought it was very crass, very blunt, very, very, unconventional, very unscripted as far as the speech. But he was very confident. Is very accurate with a lot of things. I know people get upset, but if you really want to beat Trump in 2020, it's going to be super hard to do. I'm just being honest. You're never, I'm the friend who tells you the truth. I know there's people in the comment sections who get upset. Most people don't. Most people love it. But I'm the friend who's telling you the truth. There's a lot of liars. If you want someone to lie to your face and make you feel good, Rachel Maddow makes millions of dollars lying to you. Go watch Rachel Maddow. I barely make any money, and I tell the truth. There's people on all the news stations who lie to you. I'm letting you know. If you really want to beat Donald Trump, which is going to be hard to do in 2020, you got to get somebody honest. You have to get somebody accurate. The matrix has been crushed. I'm sorry. They had a good little fake system. The whole matrix has not been crushed. The financial system's still going to thrive. The Federal Reserve is going to thrive. You're going to have, the banks are going to thrive. That matrix has not been crushed. That's why it's not that big of a deal. But the mainstream media matrix illusion and the two-party system and what's going on politically in the world, the New World Order or the globalist agenda, which is very real. I mean, it might sound like a conspiracy theory, but I mean, it's just so funny to me that people think that this could never happen. What do people in companies like to do? If somebody runs the company, what do they like to do? They like to be in charge of it. And then I want to own real estate, this and that. Why do you think the people who run the entire world, you think that they're just going to sit there, even though they've murdered, multiple leaders and taken over 30 countries? You think that there's no, investment, that they don't want to control other parts of the world? Anyway, that whole illusion has been cracked and crushed by Trump, by Brexit, by everything. And the fakeness is just not going to win anymore. So you could be nicer than Trump, you could be kinder, but you have to not be fake. And these are the options that people give to us. I didn't choose. Either we're going to have Donald Trump, who's a wrecking ball, or it's going to be someone that's nice and way nicer than Trump, but they tell the truth about immigration, they tell the truth about the wars, they tell the truth about the refugees, they tell the truth. That's not our options. Our options are literally Donald Trump, who's a little crazy, but he tells the truth, versus just the phoniest people in the world. Celebrities are so phony. The Democrats are so phony. They all pander. They all lie. They all lie about immigration. They all lie about the refugee crisis. They all lie about the wars. They all lie about taxes. They lie about everything. I didn't ask them to lie. I'm more of a liberal person, to be honest. I would love someone to be kinder. I think that would be a better look as far as uniting the country, for sure. But we don't have those options. It's Trump or the worst people on the planet. They're evil, not because Trump said they're evil, just because they are. They're fake, not because Trump said they're fake and the news is fake. It's because they're fake people and fake news with fake news organizations who pander and lie and have this whole agenda, and it's a one-sided, lopsided approach. So, I mean, my message to the side, the Democrat side, and anybody who gets mad at me, I could just literally call you snowflakes or make fun of you like other people do, but I think that's rude, and I don't like to do that unless I'm really upset, which I'm not today. But I'm trying to help people because I don't have this crazy mean agenda like deport everybody and we're gonna win, and I don't care. None of this really, to be honest. I don't have that many set stances politically. I'm just telling you the truth. I know it might hurt a little bit, but find somebody honest. Find a Democrat that tells the truth, that doesn't pander and lie to people. They don't even make sense anymore. They've fallen so far left that they're Their idea of being equal is letting somebody who hopped back and forth over the border 6 times murder a woman and get out of jail just to prove Trump wrong. These are the type of people we're dealing with. They're the type of people who would rather, probably, Russia start a war with the United States or North Korea nuke the United States. They would rather see that just to feel right, just to be like, yes, Trump failed, than to see America succeed under Trump. I'm not saying that to like lie or have a meme sort of thing that people... That's really what these people are. You think Chelsea Handler or Bill Mayer or Stephen Colbert or, Chuck Todd or Jake Tapper or Rachel Maddow, do you think no matter what Trump did, do you ever think they would say that he did a good job? They don't care about America. They don't care about you. They have an agenda, and now they just want to be right. All the people who hate Trump so much, that's their lifestyle. That's who they are. They can't not do anything else. They'll lose their whole audience. So for me, I've told people from the start, I didn't even vote for Trump. Most people who like me, a lot of people are Trump supporters, and they know I voted for Jill Stein, but they don't care because I'm telling them the truth. I could change on a dime, and no one would get mad at me because if I change my decision, it's going to be based off facts and common sense and truth and honesty and love and all the right things, so the whole audience will follow me. People like Bill Mayer and Rachel Maddow, their whole thing is built on lies. They can't tell you Trump did a good job. Trump's going to, I guarantee you, I'm not going to say guarantee, that's a strong word, but Trump will find peace with North Korea because it's not going to be that hard. No one's ever spoken to Kim Jong-un before. They've been riling things up and not even communicating with him because they don't want peace. Trump wants peace. I want peace. Rachel Maddow doesn't want peace. She wants the U.S. to blow up so she can be like, ha, I was right with my short haircut and $10 million a year from MSNBC. I told you, Trump is bad, and here we go. They don't want America to do well. Me, I didn't vote for President Trump, but I'm like, let's see what he does. And I found out very quickly that everyone I was listening to was lying about Trump. Lee Camp, from RT or, whatever show he has, the progressive show, he was lying. He tells the truth about a lot of stuff, but he was lying about Trump. The Young Turks were lying about Trump. Bernie Sanders was lying about Trump. It didn't take me long to realize, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm done listening to those liars. I need the truth. So I can turn on a dime because I'm interested in the truth. I'm not interested in being right. I'm not stubborn. You can't say the same about a lot of these people. They don't want America to do well. How many people do you know would be like, I talked to someone real quick before I leave. I talked to somebody, they were trying to sell me on some organization or whatever, and they were bashing Trump, and then, started talking about Syria a little bit, and then I talked about Syria for a minute, and then he was like, oh man, if that's true, that means Trump's right. Wow, that would mean Trump's right. Like, it's not even that people know that much. It's just like a following cult sort of thing. They don't want Trump to be right. They've been told millions of times by Apple, Google, Twitter, Facebook, MSNBC, CNN, ABC, Washington Post, New York Times, Huffington Post, Vox, Newsweek. They've been told so much that Trump is so bad, they can't even fathom that his agenda isn't to destroy the world. But that's literally the complete opposite of the truth. Even if you think Trump's arrogant, even if you think he's rude, even if you think he's terrible, even if you think he doesn't have what it takes and he's going to do a bad job, he is there to make America great. He wants to keep America great. He's been talking about it for 20, 30 years. He was tired of the incompetency of the politicians. They are sold out to foreign countries. They are political prostitutes who are doing anything. It's in the name politician. And Trump wants to make America great. Keep America great. That's what he wants to do. He's trying hard. He's ambitious. That's his agenda. His agenda is not to destroy the world. His agenda is not to be racist or something. You can find clips of him from the 90s and 2000s saying he didn't even like the Republicans because they were too far right. And he was like, I don't like Pat Buchanan. He's like, Pat Buchanan, he doesn't like the gays. He doesn't like the blacks. Trump has always been pro-gay. Trump has always been pro-black and Latino. Latino and black people have always loved Trump until the media told them not to like Trump. Is he a little rude and blunt? Totally, but sometimes that's what it takes. I'm sorry. Sometimes you need a little push. We all do, okay? And that's what he does. He doesn't hate Latino people. He loves Latino people. He employs probably, lopsidedly more Latino people than white people or other people. He doesn't hate them. there's just a difference between illegal immigrant and legal immigrant. I mean, it's just laws. There's no country in the world that just lets you go there. I don't, like, why would we be any different? Because liberals on TV are like, we're the good white people. We're such good white people that no laws, you can come here and murder 9 people and go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I mean, that's like so dumb. That's why Latino people like Trump so much, and why he has a large Latino following, is because Latino people aren't as dumb as white liberals or other people who grew up in the U.S. like, yeah, laws are racist. Like, having a immigration system is xenophobic because they told me, Don Lemon said that, and he, looks like a little kid, so it must be the truth. I mean, these are the things that people think. I never expected liberalism to fall this low. I never expected it. As a liberal type person, I just saw a funny comment, but as a liberal-minded person, as somebody who's much more concerned on peace than fighting, I'm not into war, I'm not into weapons, I'm not into any of this stuff. I never expected the mainstream liberal movement to be the movement of war and deception, and just like, I mean, it's so bad. I mean, and the Republicans have been bad for a long time too, but Trump really changed that. So just to wrap it all up, Trump's speech, his new slogan is "Keep America Great." I own KeepAmericaGreatShirts.com. I'm just saying, if somebody wants to buy it, that's an option. KeepAmericaGreatShirts.com. But, that's his new slogan. He was going off at the press, calling everybody fake news, being very, very unscripted, peak Trump, very cocky, very arrogant, very aggressive. But it's what it is. I mean, he's draining the swamp. He's already done more good stuff in a year than I expected him to do in 4 years or 8 years. So you got to give credit where it's due. And that's the difference between me and other newscasters. They are so stubborn. They want to beat Trump. They think it's a game. I want to beat Trump. I want to beat Trump. I just want to be right. I want to be right. I mean, it's just not the play, man. He's doing so much good stuff. And I could debate anybody that's upset with me, just to say, find your favorite liberal or progressive or anybody centrist, libertarian, whatever. Find your favorite news host who has a comparable following to me. Let's debate and let's talk about it. Nobody wants to debate or talk to me, okay? Even, I don't want to call out names or anything, but Luke from We Are Change, he came out to the city. He's like, oh, anybody wants to collab, come out to the city. I messaged him. I'm like, hey, brother, Luke, come on. I shout you out all the time. We Are Change. I stand up for them all the time. They don't want to talk to me because all they like to do is bash President Trump in their echo chamber. Even Luke, he does deep diving journalism, and I'm not trying to hate or anything, but he's always bashing President Trump on Twitter. Oh, well, Trump shouldn't have done that because, he's like, Trump called the guy a globalist and got rid of the Goldman Sachs guy out of his organization. And then Luke is like, well, why did he even have him there in the first place? I'm like, you're complaining that a president of the United States is saying, makes no sense to me. All I'm saying is, if you really disagree with what I'm saying, find somebody to debate me or have a conversation. And what I'm telling you is, no progressives want to debate me, no liberals want to debate me, no people like Luke from We Are Change wants to have a conversation with me, even though we agree on a lot, because I don't know why. My platform in a lot of cases is bigger than theirs. It's not like they're like, oh, I'm too big for you. No, my whole platform's bigger than you. I have one of the biggest pages on Facebook. I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you the truth. Get 2 million, 3 million views a week. I could share something and make it go viral instantly if it's good enough. I have one of the biggest networks on the whole page. So that's all I'm saying is, if you really don't agree with what I'm saying, let's put it to the test. I'll debate anybody. I'll have a conversation with anybody. You'll find the problem is not me. I'm not afraid to test my views. I'm not afraid to be challenged, but everyone else is afraid of me. They're afraid to be challenged because they know I'm probably more honest than them, and I'll make them look foolish and embarrass them in front of their whole following. So nobody wants to debate me. No one wants to have a conversation. They all hide, call me names, and do things. So that's all I'm saying. For the people that enjoy, thank you, but for the, I don't think there's even that many people that are upset or whatever. I'm just being honest. I would love a debate. I love to be challenged. If you think anything I'm saying is fake, find somebody to have a debate with me. You're going to find that no one wants to, because all the people that lie to you, they're afraid to have a conversation. They need to sit in their echo chamber, because as soon as their house of cards collapses, they're going to have nothing. Just nothing but socialism, communism, bad policies, bad politics, racial pandering. And I'm all for, racial activism. I just don't find a lot of people doing it in an accurate and helpful manner. thank you guys so much for joining. I guess my donor box link is pinned. We'll see how that worked out. If it worked well, I'll do it again. If not, I probably won't do it again. I'm going to post all my social links. I'm going to post my email list as well. Please check that out. And also, very, very important, 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, new video on North Korea and Trump. It's going to be a heater. The mainstream media is upset because nothing makes them more upset than world peace. Nothing makes them more upset than Trump accomplishments. Hate on Trump all you want, but I'm calling it now. Nobel Peace Prize. The guy is going to find similarities with Kim Jong-un and save the day. So the media is going to have to try to start the war with Russia now. They're like, oh, no, we can't start a war with North Korea. Now we got to start a war with Russia. Now we got to start a war with them. They're going to be so upset when Trump comes back and says, denuclearize North Korea. We're going to make it happen. Thank you guys so much. Have a good week. I'll talk to you soon. New video, 6 a.m. tomorrow. No, PST, yeah, Pacific time. 6 a.m. Pacific time, 9 a.m. Eastern time. I don't know about the rest. You could check on one of those Google charts or DuckDuckGo. All right, see you guys.